What's up, guys? It is 9 o'clock on a Monday night. So I figured, why not go live? It's been a couple weeks, maybe 2, maybe 3, not sure. But it's been too long. Let's put it that way. I love the live streams, love doing them with you guys. Been on limited time here. Got some packages in the mail, got home, haven't even opened them up. I might open them up on the live stream depending on how you guys feel. We get enough likes, I'll open this one and this one. Just got finished putting together a PSA order to send in. I was lucky enough to get into the giveaway, or the PSA event where you can get in for $50 a card. Got 20 cards, and I only actually had like 13 cards to submit, which was a big surprise. As I went through my inventory and stash of cards and started really looking at them to say, hey, should I send these in? Only really came away with like 13 cards that I wanted to send. That's another video. So maybe I'll show you guys some of that stuff. It all depends on you guys. We got the NBA playoffs going on right now. Hopefully my Celtics complete the sweep of the Nets. Jason Tatum has been the man, and we'll talk about basketball and get some of you guys' thoughts on that as well. Stephen Ryan, what's up? Purple Haze, how you doing? Brian Sherlin, howdy from Phoenix. How are the Suns going to fare in this period without Booker? What is it going to be, 4 weeks or 6 weeks? I'm not really sure. How far along or how far away is Booker from returning? Not 100% sure on the injury update. I just know that he's out. Doodad, how you doing? Bushliggers. Jordan, how you doing? Tyler Hero is still at 0. Bradley, always busting my balls on that. But he does score some points. Joel, how you doing? Mark Sipe. Justin, what's going on? So, guys, one thing, I come in here without a plan. I don't have a script. We'll talk about sports. We'll talk about cards. We'll talk about non-sports and non-sports cards. But one thing is for sure is I'm giving away a trip to the National again this year, and I will be entering 3 people tonight. So, yes, if you're in this live stream tonight, you will get entered in. You'll be hopefully one of the 3 to get entered in to win the trip to the National. Now, so far, that trip consists of 2 nights at the Borgata. So for Friday and Saturday night at the Borgata in Atlantic City, which is a really nice place to stay, pretty close to the show itself. But we'll get 3 people entered in for that. Working on getting, airfare if needed. I mean, somebody might win that's not too far away and might choose to drive. Last year, Sean won, and he wasn't very far away, and he chose to drive. But anyway, I'm working on, other options, travel expenses, maybe money to spend at the show. We'll see how far it can go. All I know is I'm in the raising money process. The room is done, been paid for. I paid for that. I tell you guys right now, for 2 nights, it was $1,300 in this room. So, again, not cheap. Full disclosure, my YouTube channel right now is on pace to make $50 a month. So that's what I make off my YouTube channel. So by no means is my YouTube channel covering this or my proceeds from YouTube. I looked today, I'm making $51 a month. I hadn't even checked. It used to be, more, but I used to do more content. So that's what happens when you pull back on your content. But anyway, I've talked to some other content creators. I have some willing to chip in, so that's going to help as well. And as they chip in, they will get shout outs. Dakota is going to chip in, so shout out to Dakota. He also chipped in last year. Maybe I'll get him on if he's watching. He can come on. We can talk a little bit, but I do want to interact with you guys for a while so I can just, look at your comments, see what you have to say. What's up, Imperk? Scott Pope says, Fishing Steve. I was shut out in Florida. C&T Collectibles, what's up? Adam Spisman. Toa, what's going on? Michael Haminator in the house. Philly Joe, what's up? So I'm going to try to get the likes up on this live stream. Of course, my live streams used to actually generate decent revenue for the channel, and I just kind of stopped doing them for family issues. But just hit that thumbs up so people go back and watch this. We get to 50 likes, I'll go ahead and open up this ComC package. Now, this is a ComC package that is going to be a video titled, I'm buying crap that no one else wants. So take that for what it's worth. If you want to see a box of crap that nobody else wants, then go ahead and get us 50 likes on this live stream, and there's only 42 people in here right now, so it's going to be impossible to do at the moment. But we'll open that up. And this, believe it or not, is a PSA return. It's only 9 cards, although it's in a gargantuan box. It's 9 cards, all Marvel, so you guys might not even care to see that. But anyway, just some Marvel stuff there. We'll go ahead. We will do a super chat giveaway tonight, which I used to do. And again, everything is going towards this national trip. Anything that goes is raised from the live stream, super chats, things like that. It's all going towards the national giveaway. And what I'm going to do is, when I was going through my cards today to grade, I had 2 of the same card, and they were both set to go grading. They were both set to go grading, and I decided to pull one of them because I thought it might make a nice super chat giveaway. And let's do, I guess, I don't know, it might seem a little steep, but maybe a $5 super chat will get you entered. Now, you're not guaranteed to win. We'll draw a name at the end. We'll get you entered to win a Tyrese Maxey Prism Red Ice. So this is anywhere from a $60 to $70 card raw, like all day long on eBay. I could sell this for $65 on eBay and use that money, or I could give somebody else a chance at a lottery/gamble to win this for $5 and do it that way. So if anybody's interested in that, if only 2 people get in, you got a 50% chance of winning. If only 1 person gets in, but we'll do $5 for a super chat. If you want to do a $10 super chat, I'll put your name in there 3 times. So a Tyrese Maxey, Red Ice, he's a hot NBA player. His stuff, it sells. So again, I don't just want to put up anything up here that I couldn't get rid of if I didn't want to get rid of it on my own. And we'll throw in a consolation prize, a pack of Illusions basketball. Happen to have that laying around. So that's how we'll start it. If it really starts to blow up, I'll start throwing in more things. I'm not going to let it get up so high to where all this super chats are coming in and there's not a lot of prizes to give away. So let's go ahead. Jordan says, I want to say it's pretty awesome, the trip to the National 2 years in a row. I almost did not do it this year because Atlantic City is really tough to get into. Like I said, I booked my room 2 weeks ago in the exact same place for the exact same nights, and it was like $980. When I checked the prices again a couple days ago or last week, I think it was on Wednesday, the exact same room for the exact same nights was up to like $1,300. So the prices are only going up as things are selling out, and with it being the end of the summer and being vacation time, you know, it's like it's just nowhere to stay. It's even harder than it was last year in Chicago. So there have been 600 packs of 1997 Argentina rock cards. That's sweet. I have a couple of the Eddie Vedders. The Eddie Vedder blue one always tends to have like a yellow line down the side. Do you notice this? And they get kind of like waxy on the back or get some kind of black stuff on the back of them. A Bushlegger, do you notice that on yours when you open them out of the packs? Because I try to find a really nice clean one, and it's really, really hard. Bradley, you got through a stretch of 2 card shows in 2 weeks. Both shows were good. Which shows were those? 600 packs. Dave, if you have anything that you want to send me for fundraising, just hit me up on Instagram. If you have Instagram, flipping_Steve, that's the best way, and we can chat about that. I've had a couple other viewers contact me on there as well, because that's the thing. I started talking about this as a giveaway that I'm doing, and it turns into a giveaway that we're doing. Like, I'm not going to take 100% credit for all this. I started off, I get the room, and then other content creators reach out to me and say, hey, I'd like to chip in this, like to chip in that. I'm not going to disclose what each individual gives me because, you know, it's not trying to outdo each other. That's not what it is. Anybody that wants to chip in anything is appreciated. And I've had people ask me if I wanted some slabs or something to do like the super chat giveaways and stuff with. So you can hit me up with that. The Celtics still clinging to that lead. Michael Hamm is the first to drop into the super chat giveaway. So right here, we'll just write Ham. And the important thing, guys, is to watch the content, because remember last year when we did the giveaway, I asked questions, and that's how You got entered by answering questions about the content. And then HMJ is going for 3. Hopefully, and he says, dope giveaway, great channel. Thank you, man. Ever seen Tupac cards? I have seen a Tupac card. It's in a weird set. It's in the same set that has a Notorious B.I.G. card, and it also has a Snoop Dogg card. I think it's some Father's Day type set. I believe I can't remember the name of the set, but I have seen a Tupac card. If somebody else in the chat can help me out with that exact card, I've seen it a couple times, and I can't remember what the actual set is called because I don't know if it's made by a big manufacturer, and it was like a special set. But I remember it having a Notorious B.I.G. and they're really artsy type cards. Had a Tupac and a Snoop Dogg in that set. Now that's not Snoop Dogg's first. Snoop Dogg's first is actually a 1995, I believe, Panini smash hit sticker. I have one of those in one of these boxes here. I would have to dig it out to show it to you. Paul says, love the analysis on pumping versus educating on non-sport stuff. A lot of the people just see that stuff and hit by it now. Yeah. With me, a lot of the stuff that I buy, a lot of people don't know existed. For example, the question that HMJ just asked, he's asking for a Tupac card / sticker. And that's because I'm guessing he likes Tupac, right? Probably not because he wants to buy Tupac as a long-term investment or a quick flip, but probably because he likes his music, he likes him, he liked his movies, whatever. You know, it has some sort of relationship to it. And that's kind of how I am a lot of times when I'm collecting my oddball items. And, you know, I talk about those because I'm super excited when I get them, first of all, because a lot of the stuff you never really see, and then people aren't very aware of them. And like I talked about an Eddie Murphy card on Dakota's live stream, and the rest of the live stream proceeded to be about 20 minutes of chat about comedians. It just sparked conversation, and everybody was naming their favorite. Honest question to anybody out there in the chat, from a collector's standpoint, from a collecting standpoint. Okay, I'm just thinking collecting, not because you think it's going to be worth money or anything. But if your most favorite, or your most favorite non-sports superstar, non-sports star had a card, and it was inexpensive, and it was something you didn't see every day, would it be something you would like to have for your personal collection? And that's just an honest question. It can be yes or no. Maybe you have zero interest. But say, for instance, for me, I am a big fan of Pearl Jam. So as Bushliggers was talking about opening up the Argentina rock cards with the Eddie Vedders in there, I like those Eddie Vedder cards. Do I think they have long-term investment potential? That's not why I buy them. But I buy them because I like them. So again, is there anything out there that, you know, would you ever buy a celebrity, non-sports celebrity card of someone that you really liked? It doesn't matter what the genre is, you know, acting, singing, any kind of performing, you know, whatever the case may be. But is there anything out there that would you ever do it? And if you answered yes, tell me who it would be. M-Perk, thank you very much here for it. And M-Perk sat with me at trade night, or I sat with him. I'm not going to say he sat with me. We sat together last year at Card Collector 2 trade night at the National. And he made a big deal for, was it Flawless or National Treasures case or box? I can't remember. And went up on stage and actually opened that. Jordan says, to be honest, if I would do some shirts and literally have the shirts say anything, something Flipping Steve related, it'd be one-time thing like the packs of cards they give out at the National. I tried to do T-shirts, and I got 2 made. And Jordan, I believe you might have got the other one, and one was mine. And then I just ran into issues with the person that was doing the T-shirts for me. I don't know I don't know what the issue was. They just wanted to change up everything that I wanted to do, which I thought was weird because, I was like, I kind of want my shirts to say this. And they're like, well, it'd be better if they said this. And I'm just like, you don't understand. They're like, because mine were like FOTL, first off the line. They didn't think that made any sense to them as a t-shirt designer, but I was like, people in the card world understand what it means. And I just was like, you know what, I'm done working with this. And then that was my first experience ever working with like a t-shirt graphic designer person. And it left a bad taste in my mouth that quickly that I just gave up like after like a week of doing t-shirts. And they were all for giveaways. I wasn't even trying to merchandise them or sell them or anything. Let's see. Have I seen the Tupac handwritten song lyrics on Golden? I have not. Is it for a song that was actually ever released? Or is it for a song that was supposed to be released and they found, or written before he passed away? Well, it had to be written before he passed away, but was it supposed to be released before he passed away, or just something that was never going to make it onto an album? It was kind of scrapped. I haven't seen it. I can only imagine if it was the lyrics to like one of his super famous songs. That would be crazy. Purple Haze is going to join the party for the Tyrese Maxey again. If you want to do a $5 super chat to help donate towards the national trip, you get entered into the box here. And at the end of the night, we'll pull a winner for the Tyrese Maxey Red Ice. This is easily a $50 card, pushes 65 to 70. And it's very clean. It was actually in my graded box. And because I had two, I decided to just take one out and give away. And there will be a consolation prize. Whoever doesn't win that will get this illusion packs here. Might not be nothing in there. I don't know what you can pull out of illusions. I have no idea. But it's better than nothing. Mark said he would like a Flipping Steve shirt. I'll have to work on it, guys. And like I said, right now, I'm working 8 out of 9 days, 8 out of the last 9 days, and they're all 10-hour shifts with a dice class after work that I'm teaching. So my PSA, I got into the PSA submission that I was talking about, where I got 20 cards for $50. I lucked out and got into the queue. That was like 2 Tuesdays ago. I had 15 days to submit that order. Today was day 14. They sent me an email warning me saying, hey, you're about to lose your 20 spots. And I had to take cards with me to work and do my PSA submission while I was on break because I didn't have time to do it. I filmed a YouTube video on my way to work this morning because I didn't have time to sit down in my kitchen and actually make it as a video. I had to film it in my car and put it out as a video. So, and I'm live streaming now, and we'll get up in the mornings. Like I may only go for an hour tonight, guys. Sorry, but I want to get 3 people entered. We're at 60 people in the room now. At 50 likes, I open the ComC box of crap. And if we get to 75, which would be super, and I'm only going to make this difficult. If we get to 75 likes, I'll open the PSA order. Because I really don't want to open the PSA order, but I'll do it for you guys if you really want to see it. It will be a video. This ComC order will be a video. This PSA return will be a video. My PSA submission that's going out, I got it entered. So now at least I can wait a couple days before I send it. Will be a video. So you will see all this stuff, but you will get to see it early if you're here tonight. Charles, you headed to the National Atlantic City? I can't remember. I know you want to go to Dallas. Yeah, Paul, I've looked for Alice in Chains and Lane Staley stuff. I just can't find them. Charles Fuchs, Star-Lord. Sembius has a 1963 John Glenn. Purple Haze with like a Steve Jobs card. There is a Steve Jobs card out there. I can't remember what it is. Yam Wax is another another guy on Instagram. And Merle World and Yam Wax a lot of times are my go-to when I'm looking for something specific and I can't find it. But Yam Wax on on Instagram really knows his stuff about the Oddball. I haven't talked to Yam in a while, but he's great at finding cards like Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, lots of pioneers, modern day pioneers and things like that. A Neil Peart autograph, anything would be awesome, Brian, but a card, yeah, would be sweet. Mark says he bought a 1976 U.S. presidents. Guys, I'm about 6 minutes behind on the comments, so I'm getting there. Yes, it was the National Treasures. You got up there with Jeff to open it with Jeff. You got up there with Jeff Silversmith, who also does some stuff. Yeah, Jordan has the first off the line, number 2. And only a print run of 2 of that shirt. I have 1 of 2, and he has 2 of 2 right now. Joel is on the Saved by the Bell cards. What is the best Saved by the Bell card to have, in your opinion? I would never really watch Saved by the Bell. I was a little bit older, I believe. When it got really popular, I was kind of a little bit older, and it didn't really appeal to me at the age that I was at. But what would be the best Saved by the Bell to have? Toa, you are going into... So Toa said, yes, I'd buy it as a showpiece, especially if it has a great aesthetic photo or design. So Toa, what would you like to have? Who would be someone that you like to watch on television or listen to on your, I was going to say Walkman. That goes to show you how old I am. But listen to on your music platform. John G says Adam Sandler. Miguel is pumping the like button. Go ahead and pump it, Miguel. Thoughts on Panini being behind with their football product? I probably going to have the same thoughts as everybody else. It's just ridiculous that we're about to have an NFL draft, and last year's NFL draft class isn't even out on Prism yet. There's not really much else you can say about it. Are they lagging behind by no fault of their own? Because of COVID and things, pushing things back? Could they have trimmed a lot of fat in a lot of the lower end products and maybe rushed out the release of like Prism or some of their better tiered products? Yes, they could. That would cost them money. You got to remember, this is a company that's losing their licenses, and they're just going to pump out anything and everything to try to sell it. People will settle for what they put out on the shelves. That's why they continue to make some of the crap that they make, because people continue to buy it. People settle for less than satisfactory. And as long as they can get by doing the bare minimum and the consumer continue to settle for it, from a business standpoint for them, it still makes sense to do. People will talk about it and be down on it. And, a lot of people won't buy their products, but not enough to really affect their bottom line. It's just crap. Happy Gilmore, Lee Madison, Sports Cards Times. What's up? Sin City Cards in the house. I have not heard any news on the Spider-Man metal other than it just keeps getting pushed back and pushed back. Sin City Cards, that card that you have in your avatar, I have graded in this PSA return. That is a Mary Jane Watson 2017 red PMG. I have a PSA of one of those slabbed in that box. The Three Stooges cards are awesome, Philly Joe. I've seen those vintage, and they actually will sell graded for some decent money. Those Three Stooges cards, they draw a collector's premium sometimes. I've seen them, and they sell pretty liquid. In comparison to what? I don't know, but in comparison to the types of cards that they have, a lot of times when I see them at shows in some of these non-sports card displays, the Three Stooges cards are usually pretty hot. Who dat? What's going on? I was swinging by some auctions lately. I just keep it pretty quiet in the comments. Been looking for some Silver Age Doctor Strange keys. That's all I'm really targeting right now because it's all PC stuff. But I've been swinging by, checking. Lots of times I see lots of new stuff and spec books and independent books, which I know nothing about. But I'm always on the lookout for Silver Age, Doctor Strange or Strange Tales keys in mid grade. Mid grade. Are shield thumbs up okay? Is that the final score, Bradley? Yeah, Toa, I got your super chat because I talked about you talked about a display piece having nice aesthetics, and I asked you what you would like for your display piece to be. Brendan, what would I say is my oddest oddball card? Damn, that's a good question. Oh man. That's a really good question. I've never really thought about it. I mean, none of them are really odd to where they're just like super like weird. I mean, oddball cards. I mean, this is still sports related. This is Oddball Sports. Everybody's seen the Dan Marino 7-Eleven disc from 1984, rookie year. I mean, is that really odd because it's still a sports player? Although it's, would you consider it a card? I mean, it's an oddball item of a popular sports player. So maybe that's not the word. Maybe that's not the weird most. Here's a hand cut Lefty Grove 1927, like King of Clubs card. I picked that up at the National when I was vintage shopping with Ryan from Breakout Cards last year. Again, that's a sports card that's kind of oddball. I liked it because it had a card on it. It was casino themed. Oh man, that's such a good question. And like my next video, because I just did a video on my top 10 autograph cards I did on Easter. I was going to do a video coming up on my top 10 non-sports cards. Now, not autographed, because some of my non-sports autograph cards were actually in my top 10 autographs. So it's going to be non-sports, non-autos cards that are the top 10 in my collection. I actually have to go through some to try to get an idea. But see, to me, it's hard to say that they're odd because I like them. So I'm like, this isn't that odd because they're just old rock and roll stickers and things like that. So to me, I don't find that odd. Here is one that is a sticker, but is also non-sports, and it's a disc. This is a Mick Jagger 1972 Monty Gum disc. So that's a little odd on both ends. Here is a 1900 Ogden's Guinea Gold Thomas Edison inventor card from 1900. So that would be probably one of them because it's an inventor card. That's even weird. That's even more weird than collecting like musicians and stuff. Mark, your wife wants a Patrick Swayze card. I saw a Patrick Swayze card on eBay the other day, and I almost bought it. Mark, I will contact you on IG, and I will show you a picture of the Swayze card that I saw because it wasn't very expensive. If you would like for me to do that, I can shoot you a picture of that. Let's see. Guys, I'm way behind on comments, I think, so I'm going to scroll down and try to catch up if I missed you guys. So Celtics, I see, are up at 9:26. That's 5 minutes ago. That game's probably over by now. Let's see. Sumo cards. You can buy a Yokozuna WWE card. You buy You collect vintage Vegas casino chips. I know because I work in the casino business. I know a lot of people that collect casino chips, and there's actually one guy I work with that collects dice. So he likes to get a die or a set of dice from every casino that he goes to that's been used on one of their craps tables. Usually, what will happen is the dice will be removed from the craps tables after they're used. The gaming commission or security department will drill a hole through the die, each of them, so the dice, and then they'll sell them in their like gift shop. So people will tend to get them like that. Now, if you could get them without the holes drilled through them, that'd be a whole nother crazy collection. Prodigy, my next show for sure is the National, and that's clearly in July. I would love to go to Dallas coming up at the end of May. There is a Chantilly in June, which is realistic, at least if I'm only at Chantilly. So Chantilly in June, for even if it's just for the Saturday afternoon, is probably a go. If Philly has anything between now and then, which I doubt that they do, would be a go. The National is a go. Time is just not on my side right now. Rolling Stones. But time is not on my side right now. Let's see. Toa says he has a ComC order he's waiting on that has some Stone Cold and Rock toasting beers. Also one of Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior iconic moments. See, I can scroll back now. Caught up on the comments, so I can scroll back. I see a 19. Scott's talking about a 52 Topps Charles Lindbergh. There was a 1952 Topps set that put out a bunch of Topps, maybe Look at Me or Look at something. It was a Topps set from 1952. The only issue with those is that it took a lot of it has a lot of cards in it from people who are like from way, 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 way back who actually have earlier stuff. So it almost feels like as if these were like not remakes, but so far after the people were relevant. You know, the people are still relevant in history, but Charles is like open the PSA order now because he knows it's all Marvel cards. Henry Ford's rookie is in that 52 set. Look and see. I said, what did I say? Look at me. The Celtics sweep is complete. Whoo-hoo! Man. I was hanging out with the Young Bucks. No, not the wrestlers. But, you know, Kenny and Roth and them, I like to call the Young Bucks because whenever I hang out with them, I feel like the old man in the group. But anyway, we were discussing who was going to win the East. And I was like, man, the Heat look really strong. And was then told, or then I said, but don't sleep on the Celtics. They have lots of momentum and they're the hottest team coming into the playoffs. And they said that was chasing fool's gold. That's a quote, quote unquote. They said, Celtics, that's fool's gold. They can't even beat the Nets. Man, I don't know. Where are they now? They said it was fool's gold. They said I was betting on fool's gold. Sin City has 150 Marvel cards at PSA. So Sin City is huge in the Marvel. But I think this is the first time I've seen your name, Sin City, in the chat. Let's see, matchbooks being collected from iconic restaurants and bars. Yeah, people collect, you know, to collect, and a lot of people will collect anything. Michael, when am I coming back to Tampa? Since you left, it hasn't stopped. Since I left, it hasn't stopped blowing. Sheesh. You mean like the wind? You're still not catching any fish? Bucks, Celtics. Let's talk about the Sixers real quick because I know that they're playing tonight and they were down to Toronto. How bad is the finger injury to Embiid and how bad is it? In fact, he's going to play through it. But do you think that it's enough to cost the Sixers? Can Toronto have a chance to come back and win this series? Or do you think it just hurts them more that they're going to go ahead and win this one against Toronto and that it's just going to be tough for them to advance in the next round. Because it feels like lots of big-time players for their teams are suffering some injuries at the worst time, which is bad. You never want to see that happen in the playoffs, but it does. Got some Celtics pride. Nets are a hot dumpster fire. Michael says the wind's been blowing. Sports card time. Only thing I hate about me is that I'm a Celtics fan. I really started liking basketball in the 80s, and it was all about Larry Bird and Magic Johnson to me. So I'm big fans of both of those players. But I became an even bigger like Kevin McHale fan. When I used to watch those games, and I loved Larry Bird, and I loved watching Magic Johnson play, something about Kevin McHale drew me to the Celtics side. So it was probably Kevin McHale that made me a true Celtics fan. I think it's because if I were to be a basketball player, I would play his style of basketball. Like, just hustle and play hard, because not being the most athletic and not being the fastest or anything, which Larry Bird wasn't. But, I mean, Kevin McHale had a way to score the ball with his footwork and his hand movements and his head fakes. Like, he had to make it work with what he had. You know, not being the fastest and the most athletic, but he had a basketball body. But again, I always liked the post moves of Kevin McHale, because he just had his footwork and these head fakes and these little dipsy-do finger roll moves and stuff like that. It was just made me really like the Celtics. Are the Pelicans going to knock out the Suns? I don't know about that. Vintage card collector Bird, McHale, and Parrish's all-time favorite trio. Yeah, good old days. Good old days. Basketball in the 80s and early 90s. It's pretty exciting now. I mean, I get excited to watch Jason Tatum and stuff play. You always have the debate between basketball now and basketball then, and the same thing goes in the NFL. NFL now and NFL then. The rules have changed. It's not as tough. It's not as hard. It is what it is. I prefer to watch 80s basketball, and I don't know if that's because I think it's better or if that's just because that's what I grew up in. Same with football. But football now is super exciting. It's just some of the ticky-tack rules that they have. But maybe some of those rules actually keep it exciting. You know, if you run the ball like 50 times a game, that can be a boring game to watch. Jeff Silversmith, how you doing? Going to be at the National in Atlantic City this year? We coming out to trade night? Paul, yes, there was one of those Dutch Gum series Metallicas on ComC. And I saw it there. Actually, mine is actually in my PSA order. I'm spending $50 to have a Swedish or Dutch Gum Metallica mini card graded by PSA, just because I want it slabbed and in my personal collection. So it's going to cost me $50 to have that PC'd in a slab. So yeah, this next order that I'm sending out of 13 cards, $50 a card, has some PC stuff in it that's really not going to give me any return on investment. One card that did come in the mail this week, that was another non-sport pickup, was a 2008 Donruss Americana Century Cuts silver, numbered out of 50 of Quentin Tarantino. So that's numbered out of 50. On the back, you can see it right there. Kind of no focus, but there's numbered out of 50. It's got some silver shine to it, kind of like a refractor. You can't see it with the crappy camera, but just Quentin Tarantino card I got for my collection. Go with my oddball stuff. But yeah, I don't know how many likes I'm at. Again, we'll plug the super chat giveaway. $5 to get entered, 10 for 3 entries. for the Tyrese Maxey Red Ice. Again, average of a $60 card. I've seen them go for 75 raw, seen them go for 50. Seen them go for over 100 in a PSA 9. They go for about 250 to 300 in a PSA 10. So if you win it, you can do what you want to do with it. $5 to gamble at a chance to win it. And all the proceeds go towards the national giveaway, my giveaway that I'm doing for the national. Billy Works, what's going on, man? It has been a while. Good to see you back. And it's not just your fault, it's mine too. I haven't been streaming as much. Time has been tough. And Vintage Card Collector says, smash the effing like button, guys. Come on. Don't make us beg. Mikhail wasn't slow. Yeah, Paul, I don't have the 68 Doors sticker yet. They're pricey. That 68 Doors sticker is for some of the Panini 68 Contanti stickers, the Doors one is a little pricey. I have I have more in here than I thought. I have the 68 Rolling Stones you've seen in a 9. So in a 9, that's a super tough grade. The 68 Rolling Stones. And then the 95 Snoop Dogg I was talking about earlier and a PSA 8. That's a super tough grade too because these come out of the packs with surface damage on them. And then this one I bought and sent in, the Jimi Hendrix. Remember the Dookie video? And a Near Mint 7. It's a pretty good grade on the 69 Hendrix. The 68 Hendrix has the whole band on there. It says Jimi Hendrix Experience. So I like the 69 Hendrix better because it's just him. And he's got a super awesome teal orchid jacket on that only he can get away with wearing. Can you imagine if anybody else was wearing that jacket that Jimi Hendrix is wearing there? They would get laughed out of the room. But because Jimi Hendrix is wearing it, everybody else wants to wear it, right? If I was wearing it, everybody would be pointing and looking at me and saying, what is that fool wearing? He's been shopping at the Goodwill. So Dave says he plans on being in Atlantic City. What are 3 things you need to know? And if you have a low budget, can you still have a great time and pick up nice stuff? Yeah, at the National you can. The National, there will be lots of bargain bins and stuff, even more so than any other show. The National runs all week, so I don't know how early that stuff gets picked through. You'll have a great time just hanging out and talking with other hobbyists, whether it's content creators you like or just other people in the hobby. You'll have a blast at the trade nights, especially if they have the impromptu trade nights that just pop up and just seeing cards that you don't normally get to see. The beach is in Atlantic City. That's free. I mean, you can go out on the beach. It will be the end of July, so it will be hot. You'll be able to go out on the beach, and hang out if you want for free. The boardwalk has stuff to do, whether it's concessions or games or rides and things like that, and amusements. So if you want to go over the Atlantic City boardwalk, of course, there's the casinos, but you risk losing money there. But there's enough to do. There's enough to see. There'll be shows. Maybe there'll be a concert that you can get into, inexpensive. It just depends on which all you want to do. I mean, you could even go into Philly. If you've never been to the Franklin Institute and seen all the Benjamin Franklin stuff and all the museums and things they have around there, that you could probably get an Uber to Philly. It's probably going to run you $60 to $75 for an Uber. It's probably 45 minutes away. But there's a lot to do in there too. So it just depends on how you want to branch out from the National. Do you want to keep it strictly card show? Do you want to branch out into Atlantic City and do stuff? Or do you want to go even a little bit further into the Philly area and maybe find something to do? Let's see. I don't know. Bush, I don't know. Bushleggers, I don't know about this. I haven't seen. Not really sure. Not really sure if they're endorsing Biden or not. I don't know. I don't get into politics a whole lot. Show up at the National in a sequins Sergeant Pepper jacket, and you'll be set at the bar. So Rara No says many dealers reload day by day. So yeah, they probably have enough inventory with them where they can restock their boxes and things like that. I'll have to look at that, Bushleggers. I haven't seen it. All right, guys, let's get an entry or a name to be entered for the national giveaway. We're going to do 3 tonight. That's what I said we'll do. So I'm going to ask a question about the channel, about the content, see who's been watching, see who's been paying attention, see who's gone back and caught up on missed content, which hasn't been much because I haven't been putting out a lot. It's going to be, I'm going to ask a question. It's going to be the first person, guys, that pops up in my screen. I know sometimes it reads differently for other people. I can't help the delay or whatever. But the first name that comes up with the right answer on mine, and guys, only answer this question if you plan on attending the National and you would like to win the giveaway. If you don't want to win the giveaway, please don't answer. Because I don't want you to be like, okay, I want to win. I won, but I want to give my entry to somebody else. It's not going to work like that. All right. It's just going to be, if you're interested in entering the giveaway, and it's something that you can really do, answer the question in the chat. If you know the answer and you're not interested in going, don't answer. It's not going to earn you brownie points or anything like that. All right. So in my Easter Day video, I did my top 10 autograph cards in my collection as favorite, not value, not monetary, but as my favorite. What was number 1? What was the number 1 card in my top 10 autograph cards? Actually, it was autograph cards. What was my number 1 autograph card in my collection? And I'm waiting. Nobody's getting it right. You guys didn't watch the video all the way through, huh? It's the first one. It's the first answer I get right here, guys. HMJ. HMJ will be entered into the national giveaway. The Dan Marino Peyton Manning dual auto is correct. Was number 1. The Larry Bird that I saw a couple people mention was number 2. The Earnhardt, I believe, was number 3. The Tony Hawk was around 4 or 5. I don't have an Elvis autograph kamikaze card collector. I do not have an Elvis. The Neo sticker is not autographed, Michael Ham, so it doesn't count. That would be my oddest of all my oddball cards would be my Neo sticker. Non-auto. I do not have the Ron Jeremy. Does he even have a card? I don't know. All right, guys, but we're 48 minutes in. The Celtics have swept. Let's this is what nobody answered from earlier. If you could have a card of anyone non-sports, if they had a card out there, say a rookie card or whatever, who would it be? Like any celebrity, non-sports. If you could have a card of theirs, who would it be? Nobody. You need a card vacation. I just need a vacation. Period. Miami Mike said it's time to get an Elvis auto. Miami Mike, do you have an Elvis auto card that you would like to trade to me or sell? Enter. Bob Marley, he has some nice ones out there, Jeremy. There are some nice Bob Marley cards out there. Lemmy from Motorhead also does. I know Motorhead and Lemmy, I believe, have cards in the Argentina rock cards that we were talking about earlier. I don't know if George Carlin has a card, but he may. Retrospecs asked me if I like F1 at all. I don't know enough about it to say whether I like it or don't like it. I haven't given it a chance. So I don't like to say I don't like it because I've never watched it. I've never watched the Drive to Survive. I've never watched a race. I see highlights or whatever on ESPN, but I've never watched it. So for me to say no, I don't like it would be unfair. But I can't say that I do like it either. So I'm just kind of in the unknown. I just don't know anything about it. Have I ever had enough interest to sit down and watch a race or to learn more about it? I haven't. That could just me being, closed-minded or whatever. I just feel like I have a lot of stuff that I like to watch, and watching something else would just be kind of, I don't know, maybe that's a bad take on it. I feel like I wouldn't like it. But again, that's kind of a closed-minded approach. But I can't say that I do or don't like it. As far as the cards go, I have zero interest in the cards because I have no knowledge of the sport. And that wouldn't make sense for me to go buying the cards if I know nothing about the sport. So I know nothing about the sport, so I have zero interest in the cards. I have friends that talk about F1 at work a lot that have nothing to do with cards. They love F1. One of them came into work today talking about the race, and I guess he said Max won and stuff like that. I was talking to another one of my friends. So they watch it and they like it. And he was talking about it's 3:00 in Italy. So maybe I don't know, was the race in Italy? I really don't know. But I overheard them talking, and they are completely not in the sports card market at all. They don't have a sports card to their name, and they like F1 as a sport. So that's as much as I know about it. What I overhear other people at work talking about it, and that's not a lot of people. Andre the Giant, Jordan. I think Jordan. Don't you have an Andre the Giant? Vince Vaughn has no auto cards. I'm not sure. I saw the previews for this Elvis movie, Sports Card Swag. I think I was either watching the Morbius movie or the Foo Fighters movie. It might have been the Foo Fighters movie, and I saw previews for it. I can't remember, but I saw a trailer for it before at a theater before I was watching a movie. And the last two movies I saw was Morbius and the Studio 666 or whatever it's called. That was the Foo Fighters movie. Yeah, the Dimebag Darrell is also in the Argentina rock card. There's a lot of first cards of music stars in that set from the 90s, because that's like one of the first printed sets in the 90s. Panini did some stuff too, but they left a lot of people out. John got a Josh Allen auto. He took out a loan. Let's see. I don't know who that is. Dave says, what's the best way to prepare for the National? Honestly, I don't know. Last year, I wasn't prepared. When I got there, I was actually overwhelmed when I walked into the room. I mean, just set your budget, know your targets, like any other card show. Walk the room. Don't, buy the first couple things that you see, because more than likely you'll see them again, maybe at a better deal. And just enjoy yourself, I know it's kind of cliche to say, but, take your time. But like any other show, have your targets. Know if you're going there to buy stuff for your PC and hunt it. And then know, if you're going there to buy or as a sell for investment purposes, Just have the right mindset of what you want and don't stray from that because you get lured into something else. You want Flippin' Steve a Neo Dual National Show You shirt? Well, yeah. He says, bring lots of money. What trends have I seen after the NFL draft? Would you say primetime QBs spike? I don't think there's going to be spikes. There might be gradual increases, but I believe the days of the really quick spikes have come and gone because the market isn't as reactive as it was. I remember when CeeDee Lamb was drafted and when Jerry Jeudy was drafted, how quickly Dak Prescott and Drew Lock at the time cards skyrocketed because those two wide receivers were drafted to those two teams with those quarterbacks. And you kind of seen it when DeAndre Hopkins went to the Cardinals and Kyler Murray stuff skyrocketed. I don't think player movement, drafting, and things like that affect the market that heavily as it did in that year when the market was so overreactive. I don't even want to say reactive, overreactive to news. I think now everybody's a lot smarter. They realize that drafting a good wide receiver doesn't make your quarterback a Hall of Famer, and things like that. So, again, you want to prospect on some young players, but you want to prospect on the guys that don't have a lot baked in, guys that don't give you a lot to lose. There's young, great quarterbacks out there that have so much baked in that if they come out in the first 3 games and throw 3 touchdowns and 8 interceptions, their stuff is going to just plummet or get injured or things like that. The hottest guy on the market right now tends to be Justin Herbert. If he's the hottest guy on the market right now, he's the one guy I don't want to buy personally. Other people buy him because he's hot, and so because he's hot, they just keep buying him and buying him and buying him. And that's what keeps him hot. For me personally, I like to buy what's cold. Even if it means I have to sit on it longer than somebody looking to buy a card and maybe sell it within the hour. That realistically happens at shows. Somebody buys a card from one table and walks down 4 tables and resells it and makes $100 to $200, and they just keep that hustle going. I like to buy and give myself a 3 to 4, sometimes even a 6-month window to move a card. So my approach may be kind of different when I'm looking at quarterbacks for the NFL. I would say I would like to have a couple nice quarterback cards going into the National. I believe the National is a great time to sell your NFL, judging by past history and experience. If you find a rare card or something you've been hunting for, just buy it. Don't get cute and expect it will be there. Yeah, it depends on the rarity of it. There was a card I bought last year, a Mike Schmidt O-Peachy rookie. I know you might be like, Steve, a Mike Schmidt? What are you doing buying a Mike Schmidt? It was for my uncle, who's a huge Mike Schmidt collector and has lots of Mike Schmidt rookie cards, but never had a nice O-Peachy. And I found one in a PSA 7, which wasn't a bad grade for that. Actually hunted that also with Ryan from Breakout Cards. And we picked that card up. I took it home to my aunt, who gave it to my uncle, I believe, as a Christmas gift. Draft day deals like Debo moves could impact the QB of the team he goes to, but it would be for a very short period of time. You would already have to be holding those QB's cards. So I'm just going to say, for instance, he goes to, I don't even know what team to guess. I don't know. Where would be a good landing spot for him? Say, for instance, he went to Pittsburgh, which is not going to be a landing spot for him, but does that make Mitchell Trubisky cards all of a sudden go up? Probably not. Would a team signing Baker Mayfield cause Baker Mayfield cards to go up slightly? I believe that kind of would, especially teams are waiting for him to get cut. I believe Pittsburgh is waiting for him to get cut. Pittsburgh has Mitch Trubisky penciled in as their starter. who's unproven, he's probably had about as many good seasons as Baker Mayfield has had. So if you sign a Baker Mayfield after he's been cut, like a Pittsburgh team, you have a legitimate quarterback competition. So that could, because Baker's so much in the gutter right now, if you're finding someone willing to cut ties with his cards at what they should be cut at and not overpay. But then again, you got to sell that news. Don't let them get into the season. Debo going to a team would be very short-lived. You would already have to own those cards. You wouldn't have time to buy and resell those cards after the move takes place. And some people are saying the Jets, if he goes to the Jets, does it really help Zach Wilson cards? I don't think so, because Zach Wilson cards are probably already overpriced in consideration to what he's done in his one-year career. Do I think that a potential recession / gas grocery prices rising could have a potential? That's already happened. Inflation is here. So the gas and grocery prices rising, inflation is here. It is a real thing. It is upon us. Have a negative effect on card liquidity if people get a little more tight with their spending. Yeah, it could. People who do cards as a hobby, will probably pull back on their, whatever they use their disposable income for. They'll still have a disposable income, but not as much. People who do the buying and selling for a living, it would hurt them because there's going to be a lot less card selling and stuff going on. Super high-end items, I don't believe get hit as hard, because super high-end rare items start to fall out of the not just they kind of fall out of the, okay, you got the card market, the sports card market, which is the collectible market. You have you have the art market with just paintings and drawings, by famous people or mind you. But you have your high end in every market that kind of just comes together into this one big snowball of high end collectible, whether it be art, sports cards, whatever it is rare that somebody considers to be a high end collectible that has a lot of money. And during the time of inflation, they would rather have their money in assets instead of being in stocks or into, cash in the bank. And that's really, really high end type people who have lots of money that just would rather have their money into assets. That's why you see some crazy cards sell for crazy money. Just because somebody would rather have their money in it, what they consider an asset. Now, whether they're right or they're wrong on what they're picking or what they're buying, that's a whole different discussion. But the fact that having your money tied up in the high-end assets during inflation is usually, a trend that you see a lot of people follow who have lots of money. That doesn't affect me because I don't play in that ballpark. But these are people who probably don't even buy the cards themselves. They probably have people who do investing for them because they're millionaires, billionaires. They pay people to do their investing, and then their people spend their money on things like that. Paul says Debo isn't moving with John Lynch there. Eat ramen noodles and spend more on cards. My thoughts on Dak and Kyler, they feel cheap right now. I would tend to lean towards putting money on Kyler before Dak. If a quarterback was ever to be relocated first, it would probably be Kyler. He's not under a long-term deal like Dak is. What can Dak do to improve the price of his cards? A Cowboys fan will tell you every year that this is the Cowboys' year. But really, what's going to move the needle for Dak cards at this time? I mean, he's been in the league since 2016. He was hurt really badly like 2 seasons ago. He's played great football. He's played bad football. What moves the needle for Dak Prescott? I really don't know. What moves the needle for Kyler Murray? people are scared of him because he gets a little dinged up, and then, if he's not 100%, he's not good. And nobody lasts an entire football season at 100%. Some people got to tough through some injuries and be able to play through them. So, I don't know what moves the needle for Kyler other than finally getting over the hump and making a playoff run or movement to another team. We've seen Dak Prescott in the playoffs. We've seen the Cowboys fizzle out. I'm not going heavy on Dak Prescott cards or Kyler Murray, but if I had to choose one, I would choose Kyler for the upside over Dak at this point in their careers. My video on shield bidding today. Yeah, I had an auction of mine shield, which was crazy because it's a card that's not even that valuable. You don't even see it listed that much. And I knew once it reached a certain amount, I was like, why is this thing bid up so high? And I looked and I was like, I got 3 auctions going at it. 3 feedback, 1 feedback, and 0 feedback. I'm like, this is going to be relisted. And it's been relisted. I canceled it, had to cancel it, relisted. I knew it wasn't going to be paid for. I'll tell you guys right now, a 2006 Panini World Cup Cristiano Ronaldo sticker and a PSA 9 is not a $300 item. Okay? So if you plan on buying one and you look at a recent comp on eBay that says $303, it did not sell for that much. Okay? It did not sell for that much. If by chance one of the 91 people watching want that item, it's more of 175 on average item. So don't look at that 303 and be like, oh, the last comp is 303. This buy it now of 275 looks good. No, don't do that. So that's me actually reverse pumping a card that I'm trying to sell. It's like a $175 card. Don't look at that $303 comp. That was my card that was shilled up. I had to cancel it and relist it. So don't, if you, let's see. Baker Mayfield. Sam Darnold. I don't know about Sam Darnold. Is Sam Darnold going to start? The coach accidentally said Sam Darnold was going to start, but didn't really mean it? I'm not really sure. Sam Darnold been completely forgotten about, and, deservedly so. He just kind of went out and looked like he was going to be the man for like 3 or 4 weeks, and Carolina looked really good, and then I don't know what happened. Then he Sam Darnold us, I guess. Marcus says, do I think older National Treasure patch autos numbered to 25 or so of commons will end up sought after like 1952 Topps high number commons in 15 to 20 years? They're the nicest looking cards. I think a lot of the 52 Topps high number commons are sought after by set builders. Vintage commons always sell because it doesn't even matter the year, but vintage commons always sell because people are always looking to complete sets. That's why you always see vintage buyers or vintage dealers buying lots and lots of binders and books off people in bulk, and then just selling the commons for a certain price and making their money back because there's always a market. Go to the National and look at some of these vintage tables and look at all the people sitting around going through binders, checking cards off of their list, trying to complete sets. I don't think you see the set builder mentality on National Treasures patch autos in the future. When they're numbered out of 25, that makes only 25 complete sets. So it almost makes it impossible to complete. So I don't think people chase names of obsolete players of a card with a piece of fabric and an autograph on it. You can say that about, lots of players who never develop or anything. Their cards, their autos, their patches, unless there's somebody that's collected for a specific reason. For me, I like Delino DeShields because he's a hometown guy, baseball player. So, but that would be the thing. You know, he went to high school, 20 minutes down the road. So Dyner's a Shields fan. But his stuff doesn't hold high-end value or anything like that. Somebody out there always collects someone, but that's why they search the bargain boxes for him. What are some new guys I'm looking at to buy now? I'm not going to give you specific guys, but I will tell you the direction that I'm going. I'm going to look to buy some basketball players that have fallen flat on their face. Like maybe their team didn't make the playoffs, or maybe they were injured all year or something like that. So they've fallen flat on their face. I'm going to look to pick up a little bit of that. I'd like to buy a couple nice quarterback cards before the National, because that'll be, peak time to sell them. But if I don't get in soon, it'll be too late. So I am looking at the quarterback market in the NFL, but I haven't pulled the trigger on anybody, and I haven't even written any names down on paper. Right now, I'm just kind of like, who's a good deal? Anybody that's a reasonable price right now is a big gamble. So who am I willing to gamble on would be the question for myself. And then I'm also buying lots of non-sports stuff. I love the non-sports stuff from a PC perspective. I love it from a value perspective. I can get lots of it for a good price. And hey, you never know what might happen in a year or two, right? You never know what might happen. All of a sudden, this stuff might get popular. It may never get popular. I don't care. It's a good value, and I love it for my PC. It may take off, and then great, I have a bunch of it, Kind of happened with the Marvel stuff. We're in the middle of 2022 here, and I was buying Marvel Precious Metal Gems in 2020. Dirt cheap. I tried to give away a Marvel Precious Metal Gem in my national giveaways last year as one of the prizes. And the person who won it actually said, I don't like Marvel cards. Could I get another prize? And I was like, sure. So I put that PMG back, and I ended up selling it for a lot of money. But, and that was just kind of like, I like Marvel. I like Marvel Comics. It's super cheap right now. I can buy a lot of it. I can PC it because I like it. If something ever happens where it goes up in price, I can sell it. That's kind of like my approach on a lot of stuff that I'm buying now. Some stuff I'll never sell, like my favorite stuff. It doesn't matter how valuable it gets. I have a couple Marvel PMGs that fell under that category, and I didn't sell them when I could have. Like my Walt Disney card. Will probably never sell this. I've been offered a really, really nice chunk of change for this, but I bought this when these were like worth nothing, or when there was like no market for them. And I bought it so that I would have a card to share with my daughter and my wife because they love Disney. And now this card fetches a hefty price tag, and I just don't want to sell it. I'm not much into it. I don't need to. I'm not tied into it. Monetarily, I'm not tied into it. Oh, no, I'll never buy a Ben Simmons card. Baker Mayfield, I don't know. I'm not going to say I would never buy a Baker card, but I kind of capitalized on Baker last year. I did well. I sold like 3 Bakers at the National last year and did well on Baker last year. I don't like to try to strike it with the same player more than once. I know you got the whole you can always buy them back type thing, but I don't like to gamble on the same player more than once. I feel like if I'm lucky enough to hit on a player once, that's it. Panini in a desperate attempt to be the first to market with a YouTuber's Prism set. Am I buying the set, or am I buying that they would do it? I mean, I would buy YouTube content creator. I wouldn't want cards. I don't know if I'll buy wax, but I would buy cards of YouTube content creators of my friends. I wouldn't care to have a card in there myself. That wouldn't be very attractive, but it would be cool. to be like content creators that I like, not even just the sports. You know, I guess we're not even talking about sports, talking about content creators in general. I don't know if I'd really care too much about content creators in general. But if like someone from the sports card market or sports card content got in there that was a friend of mine, that would be cool. I watch some music reaction videos. There might be maybe a card of them I would want, but I really don't know about that. I really don't look at YouTube content creators and see celebrity. I just look at YouTube content creators, and the reason I like YouTube content is because when I look at content creators, I'm like, oh, those are people that got a lot of in common with me, and they like the same music, and they like the same cards, and they like the same this. Or that's a cool skill. This guy knows how to restore old rusted war artifacts and things like that. That's a cool skill that I've never seen before, or something like that. I never look at YouTube content creators and they're like, oh man, it's a superstar, you know, regardless of how many followers they have. Because I don't put myself in that boat. I just am like a dude that sits with a cheap camera and talks to everybody. But that's it, you know. I don't put YouTube content creators like on a pedestal, probably because I don't consider myself to be on a pedestal either. He's talking about his Jordan, Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons is a bum. Well, I guess we won't see Ben Simmons at least until next year now, huh? People are trashing on Ben Simmons. All right, guys, let's try to get another national giveaway. If you haven't got entered for the Super Chat giveaway, we'll talk about this again. We do have over 100 people in the room now. We're just giving away a Tyrese Maxey Prism Red Ice, $5 Super Chat. Get you entered to win it. You can gamble for a $60, $65 card for $5. You may get nothing. You may win a card. At least the proceeds goes towards the national trip giveaway that I'm doing the end of July to the Sports Card National in Atlantic City. And it's $5 to get entered, $10 if you want to have your name thrown in there 3 times. As of right now, I'm taking a loss on this card. There are 7 names in here. Only 7 names. So, or 7, yeah, 7. And some of those got in there on a $10. So I'm probably like $25, $30 in on this card right now. So I could have put it on eBay and got more for it and used that money towards the national, but I'm trying to give somebody a chance to win a card for $5. Raptors are going to wrap that up tonight. See what I did there? All right, guys, let's see. How many likes do we have? Did we get to 50? If we got to 50, I'll open the ComC box of crap. Who is going to be the biggest surprise quarterback of the NFL this year? Who is going to be the biggest surprise do-good quarterback and the biggest surprise do-bad quarterback, guys? Answer first, the biggest surprise out of nowhere, he's going to be great, and then say, oh my God, I can't believe this guy really did this bad. And it could be a veteran. You could say, oh my God, I can't believe Aaron Rodgers stunk it up this bad this year, or somebody. I'm not saying he's going to. I'm just saying, for example. Yeah, and we got to 75 likes. And somebody tell me. So we'll open the ComC box of crap, because that's literally what the video is going to be called. I'm buying all the crap that no one else wants. Video. That's one way for me to not pump my cards, is to say that I'm buying crap. But this is stuff that I want. This is stuff that I want. I bought a lot of doubles because I also want to get some of this stuff graded. And the stuff was really cheap on ComC. So I'm like, I can buy this. And if 1 out of the 4 or 1 out of the 5 looks good enough to grade, then I'm good. Tearing this box. Oh. Baker good, Tua bad. I don't like that. Zach Wilson's going to be a stud. Mac will be terrible. Matt Ryan. So Matt Ryan to be good or Matt Ryan to be bad? Matt Ryan out of nowhere being good again. Daniel Jones good. Russell Wilson bad. Mahomes will stink. I don't know if Mahomes will stink. Maybe by Mahomes standards, he underperforms. Maybe I could see, I could see maybe Mahomes underperforming but stinking. I don't know about that. He's just too talented to stink. Davis Mills good. Kyler bad. Mariota good. Trubisky the biggest surprise. Derek Carr, 50 total TDs. Tua good. Baker good. Mahomes will be terrible. Also caught in hotel with women. Tebow will come back, be good. Save Mahomes' spirituality. It's super tough for a quarterback like Mahomes, right? Has he been to 4 consecutive AFC championships? I don't know. Fact check me on that, guys. But is it 4 consecutive AFC championships? 2 Super Bowls, 4 consecutive AFC championships, 1 Super Bowl win. So he's 1-1 in the Super Bowl. I mean, he has a career already that most quarterbacks would die for. It's really hard to constantly be that successful. 4 AFC championships in a row. I mean, Jim Kelly and the Bills went to 4 AFC championships in a row and never won a Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs went to 4 in a row and went to 2 Super Bowls and won one of them. And we talk about Jim Kelly having a successful career and being a Hall of Famer. The Bills went to the 4 Super Bowls and lost them all. So to underperform by previous stats and things like that, I could understand Mahomes, saying, yeah, he may not, he has to make it back to the AFC Championship or it's a down season, correct? You could say the same thing about Stafford and Burrow. If they don't make it back to the Super Bowl, they're taking a step backwards. So it's always hard to outdo or perform up to your expectations when you're coming off a successful season, a highly successful season. Don't say Winston. Dustin's not here to say Winston. Trader Grip's coming in with 3 entries. Thank you, Trader Grip, for the super chat. They should make Ben Simmons' card of him wearing that orange and purple outfit sitting on the bench the other night. The Trader Grips are getting 3 entries for the Tyrese Maxey. And I got my next question coming up, guys, to get another name to be entered for the national giveaway. Yes, you heard that correctly. National giveaway. Small YouTube channel without even 5,000 subscribers. Doing a national giveaway. Just think of what some of these other giant YouTube channels could do. They talk about positivity and talk about community. No shots fired. No shots fired. Just saying. And Gloria says, Josh Allen, the best QB? It would be hard to argue that. It would definitely be hard to argue that. I'm sure you could debate it, but it would be hard to argue that. Doodad coming in hot and fresh, like a Little Caesars pizza with the super chat. No comment. No comment. Could have got a comment highlighted up there, Doodad. Maybe he doesn't care about what I have to say. Just kidding, Doodad. Let's see. Thoughts on Kawhi? My thought on Kawhi is nobody's thinking about him. No one's thinking about him. So take that for what it's worth and do what you think is right for the fact that no one is thinking about him. A lot of times that means opportunity. But you got to believe in the player as well. Rodgers bad by his standards. That could be too. He could be a little disgruntled. He could, he lost his number one wide receiver. But how much of Devontae Adams' output was a result of playing with Aaron Rodgers? A lot of times you see a big-time receiver go to another team, and their numbers aren't as good. Tyreek Hill's numbers won't be as good with Miami. I'm a Miami fan. I love the Dolphins. I love the fact that we got Tyreek Hill. Newsflash. Don't draft him number one in fantasy as your receiver. He probably won't even be a top 5 receiver in fantasy this year because your quarterback plays a big part in your production. Who is the Steelers QB now? Mitch? It's Trubisky as far as I know. Is Dustin's considered huge? I mean, depends on the measuring stick. Probably not. I mean, it's big. It's at least double the size of mine. But I mean, he's not the type of person that can, live off of his content creation. Basically, make enough money off his content to pay his bills and things like that. I think it's just a fun little thing for him and hobby. I think he would like for it to get to that because, he would like to have, I can't really speak for him, but with me, I'm happy where I'm at. I can't even keep up with it. I try my best. Apologize to you guys that I don't get more videos out and don't get my live streams up as much as I used to. But I made sure I got back for the national giveaway this year. Cards and Comics is coming in. We're going to write CNC like the Music Factory. Going to make you sweat. Cards and Comics. Getting 3 entries into the Tyrese Maxey giveaway with the consolation Panini Illusions basketball pack. This is a nice card. This card looks really good off camera. My camera doesn't show the refractorness of that. You could even call it a color match because it's red ice with blue in the background. Red and blue. See his jersey? Doodad just helping out. I know, Doodad. I'm just busting your balls because and Cards and Comics says content creators are not the reason for the downturn. No, that's some stuff that other people put out that I don't agree with. Don't have time to do my own video or energy to waste my time debating on who are the police of the hobby, who are the judges of the hobby, who are this, who are that. Whatever. I watch along and that's just it. I could get on and rant about it. Maybe someday on my day to ride to work, I'll be bored and rant about it. But, most of the time when you get to ranting about someone else, that means they've beaten you. They've done what they wanted to do. Imperk coming in again. All right, guys. So we're going to go back to another one of my recent videos. And this is going to be a super easy question. Super easy. So super easy, you're not even going to believe that I asked it, but I am. In my video this morning, I talked about a card of a celebrity that I talked about on Dakota's live stream, or mentioned on Dakota's live stream Friday night. Who was that celebrity? What was that card of? You don't have to give me the exact card. Just give me the celebrity's name. So easy. So gravy. All you had to do was watch this morning, or even listen into the beginning of this live stream, and you will know the answer. I have Zachary Wood coming in first with Eddie Murphy. Now, I forgot to mention that this question was to get your name entered into the national giveaway that we'll be doing, beginning of July. We'll be drawing the names, but I'm going to be entering names until then. Before I ask the question, I forgot to say, only answer if you're interested in going to the national, if you're actually going to go, if you win, if that's something you're even interested in doing. Zachary, if it is something that you are interested in doing, just give me a thumbs up in the chat. Just hit the little thumb there in the chat so that I know that you answered for that reason. If not, then I'll go down to the next person. I just don't want to enter your name in something that you're not interested in and that you're just playing along for the sake of playing along. All right, thumbs up. There we go. We got it. Card Vibe says Michael Hamm was first, but where's that? Did I see that? Oh, wait. How did you type all of that out so quick? I saw that your answer was that entire thing and completely missed it. Okay, so I'm just going to enter you both. I'm not going to take Zach's. I'm not going to take Zach's away. I'm just going to enter you both. All I saw was Eddie Murphy pop up, and I was like, there was no way somebody had that typed out that fast. Shit. Is that what it is? I was going to say, do you have it? Yeah, guys, Ham was first. I fixed it. I'm sorry I messed up, but I'm not going to take away Zach because he was probably pumped because I said that he won. So instead of deflating him being pumped, I'm going to just give him and Michael Hamm an entry. Yeah, like, damn, Michael Hamm's like, what? Yeah, Michael Hamm was like, speed dial. Ham, they're going to think I'm like texting you the answers before I ask the question. Hi. All right. So, we got the ComC box open. You guys still interested in seeing what's in the ComC box? Hey, guys, everything we do on the live stream tonight, make mental notes. I might have a question on my next live stream or live drive about what came in the ComC order. I know, Ham, put the DeLorean back in the garage, right? Bushliggers, do you have any rock and roll Argentina cards like graded, or do you have any rock and roll stickers that you've submitted or anything like that? I love podcasts. There may be 2 Marvel cards in here because I already had them in my ComC Vault, but they are not what a majority of these are. I showed you guys this Quentin Tarantino Silver Century Cuts out of 50 earlier. So I've been scooping up these crap that nobody else wants. Get them organized here. And yeah, there is a couple Marvel cards. I think there's 2. So let's get the Marvel cards out of the way first. And I just bought these 2 Marvel cards because they were cheap. They were low serial numbered. And I'll put them together because they go together well. Bravos, they are not the presidential cards, but I do have 2 Ronald Reagan gold proof cards that I bought numbered out of 10. So I own 2 of the 10. They're out in the other room. I wish I had them in here. But guys, I'm going to do a whole video on crap no one else wants that I've been buying. It will be the title. And the Ronald Reagan cards will be in the crap video. ComC always puts these little white thingies in there, and you got to take them all out. No, Troy, no, nothing as sweet as a NASCAR auto or a Tony Hawk auto. I am sending a Dale Earnhardt card in the PSA to get graded. It's not an auto either, though. No, I'm telling you, you're not even going on the level of poop of what I'm talking about. Like Tony Hawk and NASCAR ain't even on the level of stuff that I'm buying that nobody else wants. But I got a lot of them. I got more on the way, too. I got more on the way. And I will grade these if they look good. You know why? Because no one else has them, and no one else definitely has them graded. And if Atlanta taught me one thing, guys, one thing to take away from Atlanta, is when you're set up at a show with a lot of tables, it's good to have stuff that no one else has. And I'm not just talking about rare cards. I'm talking about the types of cards. I'm not talking about, you know, having a gold prism of somebody numbered out of 10, a sports player like a Luka, because those are all over. They're just different kinds of golds. What I'm talking about is like types of cards. Like I had Marvel cards, like celebrity cards. I sold some Olympic cards, you know, just different stuff was the stuff that people were coming up to my table and being like, wow, didn't even know this stuff was out there that I was selling. The first 2 Marvel cards, these are Marvel Premier, Upper Deck Premier, blue foil. So the blue foil means it's a parallel, numbered out of 50. Can't see, crappy camera. That's okay. We spare no expense here. I can't buy new cameras when I'm paying $1,300 for free hotel rooms to give away for the National. So it's just Hawkeye and Kate Bishop Hawkeye. So those 2 go together from the same set, both numbered out of 50, and Hawkeye and Kate Bishop Hawkeyes. Both Hawkeye, but, you know, Clint and Kate. Those were in my vault. I just had them sent home because I had a PSA order of cards that I could send in to grade that had to be in by today. And of course, they didn't arrive in time. So none of these cards arrived in time for me to get into my PSA order. So now I got to hope to get into another one. And I'll send every last one of these if I get into them at the right price. These look clean. So we'll start with the least. We'll start with the least exciting one. But these are all the same. So you've seen the celebrity cuts. Celebrity Cuts Quentin Tarantino. So these are a bunch of cards from the same set, all numbered. So this one's numbered out of 50. This would be a silver. This is Ron Howard. If you guys might not know who Ron Howard is, he got really famous as a director, but he was also in like Happy Days, and like he played Opie Taylor on the Andy Griffith Show and things like that. But directed some stuff. The next one is one of my favorite actors. This is a gold print. This is a gold. The other one was a silver, numbered out of 50. This is a gold, numbered out of 25. This is Kurt Russell. Gold, got the gold mirror to it, which the camera looked better. I got another silver out of 50 of James Dean. Little Rebel Without a Cause action. We got two golds here of the same person, numbered out of 25. These are two Cedric the Entertainer's golds out of 25. Got Ed O'Neill silver here out of 50. Married with Children, Al Bundy. My dad's a huge fan of him. Probably just give that to my dad. Like I said, these aren't like worth a lot of money, but they're just cool. I got 4 Marilyn Monroes out of 50. I do also have the Marilyn Monroe. I do also have the Marilyn Monroe clothing swatch card from that set, which is way cooler, but I picked up the Marilyn Monroes. And then the last two are a Bernie Mac silver out of 50. And then a Bernie Mac relic also out of 50. So it's got not game worn, but I guess stage worn or whatever you want to say, a shirt numbered out of 50 Bernie Mac. And like I'm telling you, these cards were like less than $10. Like some of these cards were literally $3 a piece. Like $2, $3. The most expensive ones were the Marilyn Monroes. They were like $10. So I got all these Hollywood cards sent home for ComC. And I probably spent less than $70 on all of them. And that's only because the Marilyn Monroes were $40. Take them out, and I didn't spend hardly nothing. You know, what could a Bernie Mac card graded in a PSA 10 numbered out of 50 do? I don't know. Probably more than $5, I would say. You know, maybe not to everyone, but there's somebody out there that would like it. That's a Bernie Mac fan and would be like, hey, a Bernie Mac numbered out of 50 in a PSA 10, I'll pay $75 for that. I mean, I would of my favorite person. You know, I just try to think like myself sometimes. I paid $200 for a Soundgarden card. So I just feel like there's opportunity on little things out there that are just cool and neat. And what? I'm stuck with some really neat cards if nobody ever wants them, right? Let's see. I missed some comments. Todd B. Don Russ and Panini make them. You have Panini Americana and Don Russ Americana, depending on the year. But yeah, they're made by a legitimate card company. See the Don Russ symbol down there in the corner? So yeah, they're also made by a big manufacturer. It's not like there's some obsolete company, just some junk that's been printed. And I mean, these are nice. Like these are big, almost 130-point stock. I mean, these are thick cards. They got nice photos on them. They got nice refractor. Like that silver off camera shines. Like it shines. If I could get good light or anything on it, but it shines. And I mean, you know, their serial numbers. They're nicely made cards. You know, people may never care about them, but I like them. Am I taking them to the National Bravos? I probably not have room. Probably not have room to carry stuff like that to the National. No, Miguel's like, we're at 75 likes. How about the PSA order? Did I see the 1965 Mick Jagger bubblegum card ending tomorrow? It's an SGC 7 and it's at $16. I did not. I'm not sure. I have the 68 Cantanti complete Rolling Stone sticker. I didn't see the bubblegum card of Mick Jagger. I have a lot of that stuff on watch lists and stuff, but there is quite a bit of it. It's just finding the ones with the coolest images. Want me to bust open the PSA order, but the PSA order is all Marvel cards. You guys don't care about that. If you want to, if 10 people in the chat care about seeing a Marvel card PSA reveal, hit the thumbs up in the chat. I don't want to put everybody to sleep with Marvel card reveal. I just put everybody to sleep with some ComC crap. Or would you like to see the cards that I am sending to PSA tomorrow? My order that I'm about to send to ship, or would you like to see the order that I got back? All right, so everybody wants to see the order that I got back. JG says he wants to see the order that I'm going to ship. You want to see both. Guys, you won't watch my videos if I put all this out now. Look how big this box is. It's 9 cards. And if anybody hasn't noticed, this is my second PSA package in 2 weeks that I've gotten back with the name Doug Gallant on it. It says Doug Gallant. It doesn't say PSA. So maybe he's like the head of shipping or something over at PSA. I'm not really sure. But my orders are coming back with that dude's name on them. And I submit myself. I don't submit through a group submitter or anything. In fact, it's when I send Express and Super Express orders. Maybe they have a guy who specializes in handling those. Anybody else ever find it impossible to get into a PSA package? Like, you need like a Michael Myers knife or a blowtorch or something. Am I the only one that feels like that? Please don't tell me I'm alone, guys. Am I alone here? I'm the only one that struggles opening the PSA boxes. Just having to go He-Man on it. Dun, 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 dun. And the box is reusable, boys. Spare no expense for shipping. Man, I hate this. They didn't put... So my cards aren't in graded card bags, which I hate. So I don't want to scratch up the slabs. Here is the PSA order. Now, keep this, guys, when you get it back. Because it shows on here, you know, now your order that you submit and you electronically print out, is just your electronic pre-submission form. Your credit card isn't charged by PSA, or debit card, or however you decide to pay, isn't charged by PSA until they ship your order back. Once they ship it back, they then charge you, which then shows that you paid them. Now, you can pull that up in your bank records and whatever, but save the PSA slip that you get back with it as a receipt, because you can write that off at the end of the year. Now that the IRS is charging us for all these, over $600 on a platform and all that stuff, you can write off your grading fees. At least I am. I'm going to try. From what I understand, you can write off your grading fees. Because this order cost me $943 to grade. So that's $943 that I'm putting with my expenses. Doesn't look like I got any upcharges. So a lot of the stuff that I submitted doesn't have a lot of market sales. I got to put this down because I don't want to scratch my slabs. And I'm at my computer desk, not in my regular work area. All right, so this is going to be some lower end PMGs, a couple vibranium cards, and I think 2 Rittenhouse Doctor Strange cards, which I have the other Doctor Strange Rittenhouse out on the table out there, which is better. All right, first card. Mary Jane Watson, red, PMG. See, you guys, the camera's not even set up for this. 8.5. Decent grade. Anything usually 7 or better on a PMG is decent. 8 will do you pretty good. 7s, you'll be all right, I guess. With the market pulling back, not as well. Scarlet Spider, red PMG, 8. So I never complain about an 8. Nick Fury, PMG, blue, out of 50. It says 9. Mint 9. Yeah, I know, boring submission. You guys wanted it. Numbered out of 49, not out of 50. Blue PMG Electro. Looks like an 8. Another 8. Blue PMG Vulture, who just showed up at the end of the Morbius movie. That's an 8. Now, coming up are the cards that I like. I have this rainbow. This is the 2014 Rittenhouse Emerald, numbered out of 100 of Doctor Strange. This came back in a mint 9, and these cards are not chromium based. These are cardboard based, super sensitive surfaces. A 9 on this is tough. Is tough to get. And that's numbered out of 100. I have the red that goes with it. This is the ruby, numbered out of 50. That got a 9 too. I saw a Moon Knight of this same card in a PSA 8 sell for $650. So a Doctor Strange in a PSA 9, that's got to be a decent card right there. I have the other card that goes with this. So this is the Emerald, which is out of 100. This is the Ruby, which is out of 50. I also have the Diamond, which is numbered out of 10. I sent that in a previous order that already came back that I didn't show anybody. It's out in my case, and that came back an 8. So the Diamond came back an 8. Of course, well, maybe I should have sent them all at the same time. That way I would have got the same grader, because this grader did these rubies and this emerald at 9s, and my Diamond got an 8. Go figure. The one numbered out of 10 got the 8. But it's the number 1 out of 10 anyway. It's the alpha also. I have a Radiance Vibranium here of Black Panther, numbered out of 50. This got a 9, so maybe a little bit over raw card value. Don't know, maybe $500. Not sure. Not sure. They don't sell enough to really know what the price would be. And then Captain America / Sam Wilson Captain America. Vibranium Radiance 10. Gem Mint 10. So that's pretty sweet. I'm going to guess that this is a pop 1. They're numbered out of 50. These actually aren't super easy to grade. They get a lot of print lines. These and the refined. But this is probably a pop 1, I would guess. Probably just for lack of grading, if anything. So I didn't get anything below an 8. All my PMGs were 8 or better. Actually got a 9 on one of them and an 8.5 on one. I got a 10 on one of my Vibraniums. And I got 9s on both of my Rittenhouses. So that's pretty good. I think I will do well on this order. I got to make up my $940 in grading. But I don't think that's going to take but maybe 2 cards. I mean, who knows? If I decide to sell this Ruby Captain, Doctor Strange, like I said, the Moon Knight in a PSA 8. So a lesser character and a lesser grade. And I know some people out there like Marvel Guy might try to argue with me, lesser character because he's a Moon Knight fan. But we all know that Doctor Strange is the Marvel GOAT. Marvel GOAT. Not saying he's the GOAT of sports or anything. But he's the Marvel GOAT. Purple Haze, what are you talking about? This isn't a pump and dump. It's a poop and scoop. Steve, don't pump and dump. What are you talking about? You guys asked. I said it was all Marvel cards, and everybody asked me to show it. I said you guys wouldn't care about my Marvel cards. Francesco, because I plan on selling them. It's basically, I probably, okay, Purple Haze. Yeah, Francesco, you're right. I probably plan on selling a majority of these. That's no secret. It's not a secret. I'll probably keep the Doctor Stranges because I have the set. He's my favorite. But I'll probably sell the rest. So yeah, go ahead and call me a pumper because I sell my cards. I don't know of anybody who doesn't sell a card here and there. If you go to your local card shop and you buy their cards, do you call them a pumper for selling you cards? I mean, honestly, answer that question honestly. If you go to your LCS and you buy a card or wax or whatever you buy, shit, I don't care if you buy top loaders. Do you accuse them of pumping their merchandise to you? Or do you just buy it and go on your merry way because you want it? Jimmy G. Yeah. It don't bother me. Charles and Marvel Guy can speak for this. If I was pumping and dumping my Marvel cards, I wouldn't still have this in my hand. That'd have been sold a long time ago. No, I want Francesco to answer me. I don't want him to run from my question. I mean, would it make a schneid comment and then not respond when I ask you a question? I was man enough to answer your question, and I'm sitting in front of the camera. You're not. You're sitting behind a keyboard. Yeah, not blocked, not timeouted, not nothing, just not responding. Probably trying to come up with something intelligent to say. We'll be here for a while. All right, guys, come up with one more question because I'm pumping my giveaway. Francesco, come back. I want you to get entered to win. I said, you said I was pumping my cards. I asked you if someone sells cards, like if you buy a card off someone, because I'm sure you're a collector right here, you wouldn't be watching my live stream if you didn't buy cards. Do you accuse everyone that you buy a card off of being a pumper? Do you accuse, I'll say it slower, do you understand me? Do you accuse everyone that sells you a card of being a pumper? Or do you buy your cards off of them because you buy what you like? But Francesca, why do you watch? Well, why do you watch? You're only helping me by watching. So thank you. Yeah. No, it's just funny. I like to give him their time. I like to give Francesco his time, you know? He can say what he wants to say. Because we're in the middle of giving away a trip to the National that I just paid $1,300 for a hotel for somebody to go to the National. Because I'm here to make money. Baseball cards, what's up? So, Francesco, are you going to try to enter the giveaway? You're still welcome. Giving away a trip to the National. Go watch your favorite content creator and ask them if they're doing the same thing. Oh, no, you don't have to drop him from chat, Michael. He's not really being that aggressive. He's not being out of line or personal or anything. Sin City cards to enter the national giveaway up until probably like the first week of July, since the national is at the end of July. On my live streams and my live drives and stuff, I'll be asking questions, random questions about the content. All you got to do is answer a question, and your name gets entered. And then at the end, we will just draw the name like we did last year. Sean won last year. Sean was in chat earlier. I'm not sure if he's still with us now, but he was in chat with us earlier, and he won last year. Bushliggers, would you stop talking about Argentina rock cards in my chat? How dare you pump those awesome cards that don't have monetary value but are awesome to collect? All right. Let's see. Oh, no. Cardboard Karen. Ooh, sheesh. All right. Let's see. Let's come up with a good question before we got to go. It's been over 2 hours. I've done the, I opened the box of ComC crap, which I called it ComC crap. And then I opened the PSA order that you guys told me I had to open. And I told you guys wouldn't care because it was Marvel cards. Some people missed that part. But you guys hit all the likes to make me open it. Somebody said they wanted to see my order that I have prepped to go in, which I can show you guys super quick if you want to see. Let me grab it. It's right over here. All right, guys. So the first card I'm sending in is this HGA Zion courtside. So I got to snap this out. Actually, as part of my PSA submission video that I'm going to show these cards in, I'm going to snap this out in that video as well. I've never busted an HGA slab, so I don't know how difficult it's going to be. I've never even done a Beckett. I've only ever done PSA and SGC slabs. So, yeah, I'll be snapping this as part of that video. So it'll be 2 parts to the video. Me snapping this case as well as showing what I'm sending in. I have PC stuff in here. I have stuff that I'm looking to grade and sell. I have, let's see. I have stuff I have no idea what it's going to do. I have this Gold Spectrum Loki card from 2014, numbered out of 25. I'm going to send that in. I have a 2000 and what year is this? Or 1997 Pinnacle Totally Certified Blue Dale Earnhardt that I'm going to send in. I have a Skybox Intimidation Nation of Thanos I'm going to send in. This 1990 Metallica Dutch Gum card for my PC. This has still got Cliff Burton on it. So this one's for my PC right here. Don't buy Metallica cards, all right? I want them. I'm sending in a Red Ice Tyrese Maxey, just like the one that I'm giving away tonight. Sending in a Robert Lewandowski Purple Refractor. By the way, maybe I should disclose that all of these will be for sale so far, except for the Metallica. And maybe the Dale Earnhardt. I might keep that. Smiling Stan, Garbage Pail Kid promo, which is Stan Lee. 1985 Panini Bruce Springsteen. This is for the PC. Bruce Springsteen for the PC. Don't go out buying Bruce Springsteen stickers, all right? This is for my personal collection. The Argentina rock card, I think this is from 94. Red Hot Chili Peppers. Again, going to my music collection. I think this is a 1993 SI for Kids Kelly Slater Surfer card. I'm going to get this slab to put with my Tony Hawk. And then these two I'm going to sell. This is the gold Select Gold Prism out of 10. Clay Matthews. Picked up at Chantilly. And then this year, 2021, gold Cracked Ice Trae Young, numbered out of 10. These were super clean, raw pickups from Chantilly, these golds. So, yeah, those I'm going to slab and sell because I'm sure that there's a Clay Matthews card, a collector that would love this card. And a Trae Young that would like this card. And a Robert Lewandowski fan like myself that would love this purple refractor. How dare I sell my cards to collectors? Should just hoard all of them so nobody can have anything. But that's it. All kinds of different stuff in there. All right, guys, we got to do one more question to get a name entered. Here were a couple that didn't quite make the cut. Nirvana sticker. When I looked at the back, it just looked a little. I already have this in an 8.5, and when I looked at the back of this, it just didn't look like it was going to be better than the other one, so I decided to hold it. The Sports Illustrated for Agassi. I was looking at these and what they're going for in high grades now, and it's not really that good. So if mine was to grade like a 7 or less, it wouldn't be worth it. And then I had a Zach Ertz Precious Metal Gems. Again, it'll probably grade like an 8. I just didn't want to send it in for $50 for it to grade out as an 8, even though this is his rookie. Not all of the PMGs happen to fall on people's rookies, but it did on the Zach Ertz. All right, guys, we're not going to, no picking on Francesco anymore. I'm sure he means well. Sure, he means well. Try to find the silver lining in everything. All right, we need a question so we can do this giveaway tonight. The super chat giveaway for the Tyrese Maxey. Tyrese Maxey red cracked ice. I don't know where I put it because I got this PSA order out. So maybe we're not going to take any more entries. Just take the entries that we have. And I got stuff all over the place now, guys. You got me got stuff all over the place. There it is. $5 super chat if you went entered to win. It's like a $65 card. Consolation gets an Illusions pack. And we are. Let me read some comments. Does chat agree with this statement? I truly want answers. I feel like the only way someone can truly be pumping is by intent. And I feel like people who complain about it don't do their homework. Maybe. I don't know. Everybody just kind of, you know, the word pumping just gets used very liberally, just like goat. You know, people talk about collecting the goats. The word goat kind of gets applied to like 10 players in the same sport, which is very liberal. Pumping, I guess everybody has their own definition about it. You know, these days you can't talk about what you're collecting or what you're buying for your personal collection without it, or what you like without someone, because they don't agree with you, saying that you're pumping. And then a lot of times people talk about you pumping because sometimes it's just people who have bitter because they miss an opportunity because they didn't have the foresight to see a market change or a trend. They just didn't see it coming and they missed it. And then some people are bitter. So some people approach it wholeheartedly and they mean well. Some people approach it negatively because they're just bitter. I don't know how to defer between those two, but you know, I believe it's all different mindsets that attack someone as being a pumper. Francesco is back here and he says he's getting bullied, which, you know, you guys are going on him a little bit by a bunch of geeks. So in the statement, the bullied is doing the bullying, right? So he says he's being bullied, but then tends to call everyone else in the chat a name. So that would be the pot calling the kettle black type deal. The Agassi card is cool. He's got the rockin' mullet on there. Just getting a bunch of smileys in here. Yeah, right. One question for me. I'll answer this honestly too. When I was a dealer at the Atlanta show, did pimping? Do you really mean pimping? Or are you misspelling pumping? I'm not really sure. Or are you confused and think that pumping is pimping or the other way around? Did pimping my cards on YouTube help me out? I'm going to answer this honestly, and you may not think that I'm answering honestly. It didn't, because a majority of what I sold was cards that I've had for a long time. I sold a lot of Larry Bird and Magic Johnson autograph cards, which are cards that I was not talking about at all on YouTube. Majority of my sales were that. I did sell some Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown stuff. That was my ultra modern that sold first. But my Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Magic Johnson dual auto sold very quickly. My Kobe Bryant autograph sold and made me a nice big chunk of money. So to answer you honestly, and you're probably going to say I'm not answering honestly because I'm not giving you the answer that you want, but the honest answer is no. Most of the cards I sold weren't cards that I was talking about. But again, if someone comes on a YouTube channel and says, buy Michael Jordan or buy Kobe Bryant, they don't get accused of pumping, because buying Kobe Bryant and buying Michael Jordan makes sense in most people's minds, because those guys are legendary figures in basketball or legendary figures in pop culture, even as being sports players. So it doesn't register as that's a pump, because that is the expected. It's expected for Michael Jordan and Kobe to be popular. It's expected for their cards to be worth a lot of money. However, when something new comes along and a new market trends, for whatever reason it trends for, whether it's a movie or new people entering the hobby, social media, whatever causes it to trend, it trends unexpectedly, which then makes it unacceptable in some people's eyes because it's out of the norm. And some people don't like change. A lot of times the people that fear change are the people that get left behind, and they miss opportunities for themselves because they don't have an open enough mind to accept something for what it is. With that being said, there's nothing wrong with wanting to play everything safe and just buy the established things. I am a conservative when it comes to buying my cards. Like I said, I just bought a stack of stuff off ComC that was less than $5 a card. It's all right here. Would I have bought these cards if they were $25 a piece? No, but for $3, $4 a piece, I bought them. The difference in me buying and not buying was the price point. So again, the difference in the Marvel card market going up and people wanting to buy now as opposed to people wanting to buy 2 years ago is price point. The same card that, I bought a card for $20 in 2020 that I sold for $700 like 2 months ago. Did I expect that to happen? No, I didn't. But did I feel like I was buying something that was undervalued at the time? Yes. Did I know how the value would go up? No. I just felt like it was a safe buy at the time. So that's the facts of what happened at the Atlanta show for me. And it's an honest answer. And anybody who bought cards off me or was sitting around me, you can ask them as well. If you watched my video from Atlanta, you would have realized what I was selling. What was the last card I can't believe I finally obtained? Man. Oh, man. That I finally obtained? I don't know, because I didn't really have... I don't really have specific target cards other than still a 52 Topps Willie Mays. When I get one of those in a nice grade, I might sit back and say, man, I finally got this. some of the Dan Marino cards I have weren't specific cards. It wasn't like, hey, I got to go out and get that specific Dan Marino card, or I got to go out and get that specific Larry Bird card. But when I see a card, that I like, that I think I'll never see again, I get it. But that doesn't mean that I'm like, oh, I finally bought this specific card. I mean, the last card was the Larry Bird. The last big card that I bought from my collection, was the Larry Bird auto. In here somewhere. Maybe the Dale Earnhardt. Yeah, I'm going to say the last card was the Dale Earnhardt. The Dale Earnhardt sign of the times, because I had been buying his lower end autographs. And when I finally got this, I was like, man, I finally can check this one off the list. I finally found a good copy with a really good signature on it. So probably that. And then the Larry Bird tag is numbered 1 out of 2. It's a tag and not just a jersey swatch. So I was like, I finally got a really rare Larry Bird, because Larry Bird he's still expensive to collect. His high-end stuff is really expensive. You can get his lower-end autos for like $300, but his really high-end stuff is expensive. So when I got that, that was awesome too. But that wasn't a card I was specifically targeting. All right, let's see. Imperk says, prevent you from creating content, can't share what you like or what you got back from PSA without people giving you a hard time. That's okay, man. Don't worry about it. Just don't worry about it. I just entertained Francesco long enough because he's watching the live stream. So that means he cares enough to watch, which means he must not think that I'm that much of a terrible person. If not, he wouldn't be wasting his time or energy watching my live stream. So, I owed him enough to respond to his comments just like I do everybody else. Not everybody has to be positive and agree with me. I'm not going to mute him unless he really gets derogatory and personal and starts calling people all kinds of, personal attacks. As long as he keeps it civil, anybody can be civil. All right, guys, I'm still trying to come up with a question for this giveaway. Jeez. All right, guys, give me a comment to talk about till I can come all right, this is going to be a question. All right. This might be a little bit difficult, but Freddie got a question. Do I deal with constant messages from people who run across cards and think you want them because of your videos? I don't normally. Every now and then somebody will message me and say, hey, have you seen this? And they will say, because people might keep an eye out for the stuff that they know that I like. Just like earlier, someone asked me if I had seen a Mick Jagger bubblegum card. So sometimes I get those messages where say, hey, did you see this? It might be up the alley of something that you like. And I also, every now and then, will get people who message me and ask me if I want to buy stuff off of them because maybe they think I'm buying for inventory for a show or something. That happened when I was going to Atlanta. I got quite a few messages from people saying, I heard you're setting up at a show for the first time. Do you need inventory? I'm looking to sell pretty much everything that I have. This is what I have. Not just the Marvel deal that I made. I had multiple deals of people, but at that time I had no idea what to expect. I had never sold at a show before. So, and I will tell you, when I set up at that show, everybody who came up to me and knew that I was from YouTube or I watched my channel, I talked to them. I even let potential deals walk while I had conversations with people. So again, if you know me and you've met me at a show, I make time. I had people standing at my showcases wanting to look at cards, but I was engaged with someone from a YouTube viewer that was meeting me, and we had met for the first time, and we were talking, and they even said to me, hey, don't worry about me. You got somebody interested in a card. And I was more like told the person looking for the card, I was like, hold on, I'll be with you in a second. And they end up walking away, what was more important to me was the engagement with someone who appreciates my content as opposed to me trying to make a sale. So, I don't pay my bills selling my cards. I don't pay my bills with my content. I just have fun doing this. Yes, I do get I get lots of merino ones, Freddie. I get lots of merinos. That would be the one that I get the most messages about, probably. Yeah, Charles wasted time having dinner with me. Jamie asked a question here about Marvel. Do I think it's still good to invest in Marvel cards, or has that time come and gone? You could ask this question honestly about the entire market, and it's just going to be specific into what you're buying. Do I think you should go out and spend a lot of money on precious metal gems? I do not. I do not. As someone sitting here with 6, it was at least 5. It might have been 6, but I'm going to say 5 PMGs that just come back from PSA. As someone sitting here with, here's 4 of them. There's the other one right there, but I want to scratch the cases up. But someone sitting here with that 5 PMGs here and a couple in here, including a really high-end Doctor Strange, as someone sitting here with these cards, I'm going to tell you right now, going out and spending big money on precious metal gems is not something that I would do. I would not do it. I think that there's still room for them to come down. I do think that they'll settle in higher than where they're originally at, just like everything else. I do think you'll see gradual trends with popularity of characters, whether they're being introduced new that you've never seen before. Because I think a lot of people that are collecting Marvel cards are being introduced to characters through the movies, not through the comic books. These characters have been out forever in the comic books, but a lot of people don't read comic books. They're being introduced. Their MCU or their Marvel is the movies, especially a lot of younger people. So they're getting introduced to new characters through the movies. They're seeing them for the first time through the movies, not through comic books. So for those types, you'll see some characters, ebbs and flows with the popularity of someone showing up new in a movie or a movie coming out. You'll probably see some Doctor Strange stuff, see a little bit of a spike coming up. Everybody's anticipating the movie. How good will the movie be? If they show some new characters in there, that'll cause some excitement. But as far as going out and trying to compete in big auctions, you got to remember Marvel card collectors are set builders a lot of times. And when they're buying up these big PMGs, they're paying high dollars to complete a set. And you're going to be competing with somebody who wants the card probably for a completely different reason than you want it for. And that's hard to beat. And that can get expensive. So are there deals out there on Marvel cards on the other end of the coin? Yes, there is. There's other smaller sets. Like I showed earlier, I like the Marvel Premiere set. It's a nice looking card. They're numbered out of, this one's numbered out of 50. It's serial numbered. It's, $15. Will it ever be $100? Probably not. Graded, maybe, but then you got grading fees included. And then you got to find somebody that likes Kate Bishop. So liquidity could be an issue. But if you think Marvel is cool and you like comic books and you like cards, then again, don't overpay. Just like you wouldn't overpay for something, that you like to buy, right? Don't overpay for something that you don't know much about. And especially if you're looking to resell it, make you hard to make any margins on it. But that's just me honestly speaking from the PMG perspective. I think we've seen the spikes for a while. But there's other nice cards out there that can be had for good prices. No, I didn't crack the Zion. I actually showed it a minute ago because it's going to go in my PSA order. I'm going to crack it and send it in my sub tomorrow. This is a super hard question. My top 5 Marvel characters, not counting Doctor Strange. You're going to ask my personal favorites, right? Not like from a monetary standpoint or anything like that. Damn. Captain America is definitely number 2. I kind of like Winter Soldier, but I don't know if I put him in my top 5. But Captain America is number 2. I can't say Star-Lord because Charles is in the chat. Give me a second to think about that one. On the down low, Star-Lord might crack my top 5. All right, let's ask the last question for the third name for the, because we're at 2.5 hours, guys. I don't know if I've ever done a stream this long. Out of all my streams that I've ever done, I don't know if I've ever done a stream this long. But I definitely put Captain America in there. He's definitely number 2. Star-Lord could crack the top 5, maybe. Thor. I like Thor. Spider-Man doesn't make my top 5. I don't dislike Spider-Man. He's just never been a huge favorite of mine. Way back in the day, and I think they discontinued his series. Unless you're a Marvel Comics person, you probably never heard of this guy, but I used to like a character named Darkhawk back in the 90s, early to mid 90s. All right, this is going to be an easy question. At the Chantilly show, and this was on a video, this was on Instagram, you've seen this all over. It's been in 2 videos, actually, and on Instagram. At the Chantilly show, the last show that I went to, and only answer this question if you're interested in the national giveaway. If you're not interested in the national giveaway, then don't answer, guys. Don't do it just to play along. I mean, if you're interested in winning the national giveaway, because your name will be entered if you answer this correctly. But at Chantilly, the most expensive card that I obtained was a dual autograph of who? Who were the 2 players on this dual autograph? And I'm asking you a question about a card, not about me. And it's not Flipping Steve and Darkhawk. That is not the dual auto. Looks like I have I Love Podcast coming in first with the Jerry West, Elgin Baylor dual auto I picked up in Chantilly. Here it is. And that goes down for I Love Podcast. Charles, you're at least you're consistent, Charles. At least you're consistent. Who was it that got into the finals last year and just completely spazzed or completely spaced out on like an easy question? I know Michael Ham did once, but I think somebody else did too. But anyway, guys, for the national giveaway so far, we got entered HMJ, Zachary Wood, Michael Ham, and I Love Podcast. Got 4 entries in tonight, 1 by default, but we got 4 names entered. We're now going to draw for the Tyrese Maxey. If anybody wants to get in the Tyrese Maxey drawing, it's $5 super chat. We'll be giving away the Tyrese Maxey Red Cracked Ice. All proceeds go towards the national giveaway. And then I got the Illusions pack for consolation, which we'll either rip it or ship it, whatever you want to do. Got it. Last couple seconds. I'll answer one more comment while anybody wants to get entered. $5 to get yourself in. $10 you get entered in 3 times. So you can gamble $5 to win a $60 card. You failed twice on easy ones last year, Michael Ham. I knew that you had missed 1. Was it 2? Charles did. Oh, man. Ken Golden just bid on the Maxey. Which Maxey? there a maxi for sale somewhere? All right, guys, it looks like we got all the entries that we're going to get. We're going to go ahead, shake it up. Get them all mixed up nice and good. Got a name. All right, somebody's going to win a Tyrese Maxey. Or Choice, actually, if you'd rather have the Panini pack, which I doubt. And it is Cards and Comics, CNC, Music Factory. Cards and Comics, if you're still here, just message in the chat that you're still here. I do have you on Instagram, so I will message you on Instagram to see if you want the card or if you just wanted to donate, or I will send it to you. Okay, you got it. You got it. Cards and Comics. You got me on IG. I may actually still have your shipping info from when we did a deal before. But you can hit me on IG with it again so that I don't forget. And this will get shipped out when I send my PSA order out tomorrow. And all right, consolation prize. Now, if I pull Cards and Comics again, then I'll pull another name. So I think Cards and Comics got 3 entries. So the Panini Illusions pack. Doodad goes to Doodad. Doodad gets the Illusions pack. Doodad, if you're still in chat, let me know if you want me to rip it or ship it. Probably do both because we'll pull a monster. I'll rip it and ship it. But let me know what you want to do. Hopefully just send it to you so you can have the enjoyment of at least opening it, even if you don't get anything. What's worse than someone opening your pack for you and you still not getting anything? So you don't even get the enjoyment of opening it, and you don't get a good card either. So do that. If you're no longer in the chat, I have you on IG as well. I can message you and let you know that you won. Yeah. I got to get this packaged up. I've got to get all these PSA slabs put into sleeves so they don't scratch. And then got to package this PSA order up and get up and go to work in the morning for a while. All right, guys, take it easy. Thanks for joining me for the live stream. Sorry I took up 2 hours and 40 minutes of your night, but thank you for being here. The live streams have been fewer and far between. I'm going to do more because we want to get as many people entered for a chance to win the trip to the National. And good luck to everybody who participated tonight. Thanks for your super chats. It's all going towards the giveaway to make this better. It's not going to repay me for what I already spent. This is not like I have paid for the room and I'm trying to recoup what I paid for it. This is going to be more money going towards the trip to help people with transportation and things like that. The room's already paid for and done and over with. Done. Forget about it. That part's done. I'm not trying to recoup that. I'm just trying to make the trip that much better for whoever wins with your guys' help. Thank you. All right, guys, got to go. Long night, early morning. See you guys later. Thanks for joining me.